with you each and every week that we plan on doing this episode.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This has been something we've talked about for a while, so it's great to see it come to fruition. I know you and we're no stranger to partnering together with our time on the radio broadcast, but this is awesome, and I just want to thank you all for having me.
10 months on the job as a full-time athletic director at Alabama State. You had a year under your belt as an interim before you took over the full-time role. Before we go from beginning to end, let's talk about those last 10 months as the leader of this athletic department.
Yeah, 10 months on the job, 10 championships. Couldn't ask for a better year. We're looking to make the 1920 academic year even greater as we look to chase our 7th Commissioner's Cup. We are just excited about what the future holds for Alabama State athletics as well as the university. It really is an exciting time to be here and to be a Hornet. And it really kicks off while a lot of our teams have already started playing on the road. This is really going into our first kind of sequence at home. And it kicks off with our game on Saturday versus Tuskegee.
And let's focus on football for a minute. When you talk about how it gets started on the road, a great showing by the Alabama State fans, the alumni, the following for Alabama State, but even better show on the field with the team against UAB, setting the tone for this weekend coming in against Tuskegee. How does that, with the attendance of that game?
Yeah, first of all, Hornet Nation showed up, they showed out, and I am so excited that we were able to pack Legion Field like that. Having the students be able to attend as well, getting the 3 charter buses to come from Montgomery to Birmingham was huge. And then having our alumni. Both alumni chapters in the area did an amazing job of spreading the word. The Jefferson Shelby alumni chapter hosted the alumni roundup in conjunction with institutional advancement, which was a phenomenal event to start the festivities, which to me carried on that energy. It carried on to the field, and our team played phenomenally. We don't take to moral victories, but I think that's the way you start your year off. We had a chance to win. And any coach, any player, I'm a former student athlete, will tell you that you always want to go into a game with a chance to win. And we had some chances to really take one from an FBS opponent.
When you talk about the excitement started on campus as far as athletics is concerned on Friday with volleyball. They swept it through 3 matches here at home in the MEAC SWAC Challenge, and then soccer opens up at home on Tuesday and beats Faulkner. All of that ties in when you think about what's going on this week on campus. How important was that to get the week started, and how big was that to get the week started with all those wins?
Yeah, in our year-end press conference that we do, I challenged our fall sports. You know, this 1920 year, it starts with them. They have to set the tone, primarily your football, you know, your revenue generating sport. And so for us to really start off with that positive showing, I mean, we shocked a lot of people if you look at the reports, but we're not settling for that. You know, we know what this team has done through the off season, and like I always tell our coaches, champions are made during the off season. But our fall sports, they know that they set the tone for what we do the rest of the year. So cross country, volleyball, soccer, football, they set that tone, and we've started off in a great way. And I'm looking forward to continue.
Let's switch it and talk about you for a minute and just talk about how you have evolved and how you got into the athletic field and how you've taken it and if it just really blossomed and really just taken off.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the short version. So I was a student athlete. I was a basketball player, played at the University of North Carolina. Always knew I wanted to work at some capacity in sport. I knew I never wanted to be a coach. No offense to my coach friends out there, but I knew I wanted to do something, just wasn't sure. I received my degree in journalism and African American studies from North Carolina and was fortunate to work at Fox Sports in Atlanta on the show ACC Live immediately following graduation, and also did some sideline reporting and an analyst for the ACC network. But I still didn't feel like I was living in my purpose. And while everyone was telling me, oh, Jennifer, you're great at television, you know, this is the path you need to go in, I knew that it wasn't for me. So when I started listening to me and doing what I wanted to do, which getting back into athletics that's when things really start to click. So I had a postgraduate scholarship through the WBCA. It was the Robin Roberts Sports Communication Award, and I decided to go to North Carolina Central for grad school. I always wanted to go to an HBCU ever since I was little. You don't have a lot of HBCUs in the Midwest. I'm from Michigan, but through the Cosby Show and A Different World, I'm like, I want to go there. So I knew that when I had the chance to go to grad school that I would go to an HBCU, and North Carolina Central really gave me my start in athletic administration. I actually started in your role with our SID at North Carolina Central, who's still there, Kyle Serba, and pretty much kind of threw me and immersed me into athletic administration. I was stats, PA announcer, writing stories, everything you could think of. And then I just had to step back because what you do is a lot. And so I was like, I'm going to go more on the external side. And that's when I switched over to fundraising, alumni relations, and marketing. And that's kind of where my passion stayed. And I was able to get a lot of hands-on experience working at North Carolina Central, who was at that time in the CIAA transitioning to a Division I institution. From there, I was lucky enough to work in at a nonprofit. I graduated in 2008, and I'm thinking I'm going to come out with my master's making all this money. I took an internship with now Women Leaders in Sport, making $18,000. And I was probably making more money when I was in grad school, but you have to sacrifice to be able to get to where you want to be. And so I sacrificed, and I was working 3 jobs, but I was able to make so many connections at Women Leaders in Sport. I was offered a full-time position, but I knew I wanted to get on campus. And I interviewed for a position at DePaul University in Chicago for athletic development, and the rest was history. I worked there for 3 years, had a lot of success, and then a position opened up at North Carolina A&T where I was going to be able to lead my own fundraising shop, a shop of a solid one, me plus one other, but still lead, and some interns and GAs, but then also be on senior staff. And, and also serve as the executive director of our athletic foundation. So that was a great opportunity that allowed me to raise a lot of money and to really kind of put my stamp on as being someone in this business who you don't see a lot of people who look like me in terms of race and gender in the fundraising realm in college athletics. So to be able to come in and have these successes, it was noted on a national level. And I was contacted by the previous AD here at Alabama State about a possible position opening up for a deputy athletic director, which it aligned with my course. I always knew I wanted to be, after I got into athletics, I knew I wanted to be an AD. And so in order to have that sport oversight, which came with being a deputy athletic director and do more of the HR and the liaison to university constituents, I knew that that was something I had to do. And I accepted the position here, and fast forward 3 years, I just had my anniversary being at Alabama State on August 22nd. I'm now in the seat. And, I tell people write down your goals, because it was always my goal to be an AD by 40. And I was blessed to have made it prior to that deadline. So, it's been a great run, and I can talk on and on about the path, but, I tell people really write down your dreams and watch them come, because I believe in the power of the pen and the power of the tongue, and you should always speak what you want to be into existence and just watch it manifest.
But for our guest, Ms. Jennifer Lynne Williams, I'm Travis Strom saying until next time.